So, what is anti-hyperlipidemic agents? So, first of all, we should know about hyperlipidemia. The major lipids found in the bloodstream are cholesterol, cholesterol esters, triglycerides, and phospholipids. An excess plasma concentration of one or more of these compounds is known as hyperlipidemia. This disease is usually chronic and requires continuous medication to control blood lipid levels. Hyperlipidemias are classified according to which types of lipids are elevated, that is hypercholesterolemia, hypertriglyceridemia, or both in combined hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipoproteinemia has been strongly associated with atherosclerotic lesions and coronary heart disease. Anti-hyperlipidemic agents promote reduction of lipid levels in the blood. Some anti-hyperlipidemic agents aim to lower the levels of low-density lipoproteins, that is LDL cholesterol, and some reduce triglyceride levels, and some helps raise the high-density lipoprotein HDL cholesterol. So, what is hyperlipidemia then? A condition in which there are high levels of fat particles, that is lipids, which are deposited in the blood. This is elevated plasma level of lipids when deposited in the form of lipoproteins. For example, lipids like cholesterol and triglycerides. These lipids can deposit in blood vessel walls and restrict blood flow. This creates a risk of heart attack and stroke. So, let's see what are the normal functions of triglycerides and phospholipids in the body. So, triglycerides supply energy for the body. Triglycerides either meet immediate energy needs in muscles or stored as a fat for future energy requirements. Phospholipids are compounds that are used to make cell membranes, generate second messengers, and store fatty acids for the use in generation of prostaglandins. So, in our body, how cholesterol is produced? It is produced by our liver. As we consume meat and dairy products, that is milk products, so they are get converted into cholesterol by the means of liver. So, what are the normal functions of cholesterol in the body if they are in minimum amount or as required amount or as a need of amount, not less or not more? So, it is necessary for new cells to form and for older cells to repair themselves after injury. Cholesterol is also used by the adrenal glands to form hormones such as cortisol, by the testicles to form testosterone, and by the ovaries to form estrogen and progesterone. Since blood and other body fluids are watery, so fats need a special transport system to travel around the body. As our body is made up of around 75% of water, so it is polar. So if we should transfer non-polar part also, so fats are the non-polar. So there is a special transport system should be present in our body. So these lipoproteins, they carried from one place to another, mixing with the protein particles. Okay, there are 4 or 5 types of lipoproteins, each having very distinct job. So before studying anti-hyperlipidemic agent, so we have to study the classification of lipoproteins, that is if they are in normal range or if they are below normal range or above the normal range. So what should be their primary function or their composition to run our body system or body metabolism system properly. So there are chylomicrons, which are composed of triglycerides. They transport dietary triglycerides to adipose tissue and muscle. and they are stored into the adipose tissue and muscle in the form of energy. VLDL, very low density lipoproteins, means they have low density, they are newly synthesized triglycerides. They transport endogenous triglycerides to adipose tissue and muscle as above the chylomicrons. Then IDL means intermediate density lipoproteins. They are not usually detectable in the blood. Then LDL means low density lipoproteins. They mainly cholesterol, in which bad cholesterol is there. They transport endogenous cholesterol. And HDL means high density lipoproteins. It is a good cholesterol which collect cholesterol from the body's tissue and take it back to the liver. So what are the causes of hyperlipidemias? So as our lifestyle has changes, sitting work, or we are working in AC, or we are working in 8 hours continuously sitting, so there is no much requirement for energy for body to utilize these fats. And also our diet especially has been changed in the last 20 decades. So diet and hereditary factors affects hypothyroidism, nephrotic syndrome, anorexia nervosa, systemic lupus erythematosus, obesity, alcohol consumption and smoking, diabetes, pregnancy, obstructive liver disease and acute hepatitis. These are the causes of hyperlipidemias. So you can see the symptoms of hyperlipidemia: loose stool, poor appetite, depression, weight gain, stomach distension, heart pain, okay, obesity. So these symptoms causes obesity, diabetes, heart attack, carotid arterial diseases, peripheral arterial diseases and stroke. So the antihyperlipidemic agents are classified as below: HMG-CoA inhibitors, in that lovastatin, atorvastatin, fibrates, clofebrate, fenofibrate, bile acid sequestrants, cholestyramine, cholestyramine, LDL oxidation inhibitors, probucol, pyridine derivatives, nicotinamide, nicotinic acid, cholesterol absorption inhibitors, ezetimibe, and in miscellaneous beta-sitosterol, dextrothyroxine. So in that first class is HMG-CoA reductase. In that lovastatin is a fungal polyketide derived synthetically from a fermentation product of Aspergillus terreus. It is a prodrug. The inactive gamma-lactone closed ring form is hydrolyzed in vivo to the active beta-hydroxy acid open ring form. Lovastatin was the first specific inhibitor of HMG-CoA reductase to receive approval for treatment of hypercholesterolemia. Let's see its mechanism of action. Lovastatin is a potent competitive reversible inhibitors of HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. So HMG-CoA reductase enzyme is required for mevalonate synthesis, which is an important building blocks in cholesterol biosynthesis, as this is shown in this figure. Lovastatin acts primarily in the liver, where decreased hepatic cholesterol concentrations stimulate the upgradation up pre-regulation of hepatic low density lipoprotein receptors, which increase hepatic uptake of LDL. So acetyl coenzyme A binds to 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme A, that is HMG-CoA enzyme. It converts to mevalonate, and then the series of compounds has been generated, that is isopentenyl 5 pyrophosphate, then this transfer to geranyl pp, then pharenchyl pp, then squalene, and then the last product is cholesterol. So if we block this HMG-CoA enzyme, then mevalonate is not be generated and the further processes will not be generated, so cholesterol will not produce. Lovastatin also inhibits hepatic synthesis of very low density lipoproteins. Okay, so the overall effect is the decrease in plasma LDL and VLDL as a significant reduction in the risk of development of CVD and all causes mortality. So here are again some examples like mevastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin from this class. So let's see the uses. So lovastatin is used to reduce the risk of myocardial infarction, unstable angina, and the need for coronary revascularization procedures in individuals without symptomatic cardiovascular disease. Lovastatin is also used to slow the progression of coronary atherosclerosis in patients with coronary heart diseases. So let's see the SAR of these compounds. So the structure should contain lactone ring, which is sensitive to stereochemistry of it and ability of ring to hydrolyzed length of bridge. Then second one, bicyclic rings, they could be replaced with the other lipophilic rings. Size and shape of it are important for the activity. Ethylene bridge, ethylene bridge is also important for the activity. So next class is bile acid sequestrants. In that cholestyramine, questran, cholestypol hydrochloride, cholestid, and cholesalveolum tablet form. Okay, these are also called as bile acid binding resins and ion exchange resins. So cholestyramine or questran, it is a bile acid sequestrant that is used in a therapy of hyperlipidemia and for the pruritus of chronic liver diseases and biliary obstruction. It is a large, highly positively charged anion exchange resin that binds to negatively charged anions such as bile acids. The binding of bile acids to the cholestyramine creates an insoluble compound that cannot be reabsorbed and thus excreted in the feces. Cholestyramine resin is quite hydrophilic but insoluble in water. So let's see its mechanism of action. It lowers plasma cholesterol level by inhibiting the absorption from intestine. This causes a decrease in cholesterol delivery to the liver, which in turn clears more cholesterol from the blood. Selective in its action, that is, they do not interfere with the triglycerides, lipid soluble vitamin absorption. So the levels of LDL-C in the serum are reduced in the bile acid sequestrants. So cholestyramine resin is a strong anion exchange resin, so it allows to exchange its chloride anions with the anionic bile acids which are present in the gastrointestinal tract, and they form insoluble complex resin matrix in the intestine which is excreted in the feces. This results in the partial removal of bile acids from the enterohepatic circulation by preventing their absorption. So let's see its uses. Cholestyramine is used to lower high levels of cholesterol in the blood, especially low density lipoproteins. Cholestyramine powder is also used to treat itching caused by the blockage in the bile ducts of the gallbladder. Then again, one major anti-hyperlipidemic agent from this class is cholestypol. Cholestypol is a bile acid sequestrant. It is also an anion exchange resin. it is hydrophilic, but it is water insoluble, means only fraction of it is soluble in the water. So mechanism of action is also similar to that of cholestyramine. So its uses, cholestyramine is indicated as adjunctive therapy for diet for the reduction of elevated serum total and low density lipoprotein cholesterol in patients with primary hypercholesterolemia why do not respond adequately to dietary changes. So the next class is fibric acid derivatives. So in that examples are clofebrate, fenofibrate. Okay, let's see its description. Fibrates are anti-hyperlipidemic agents widely used in the treatment of different forms of hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolemia. Fibrates are 2-phenoxy-2-methyl-propanoic acid derivatives. These drugs stimulate beta oxidation of fatty acids in mitochondria. This group of drugs is therefore known as decreasing plasma levels of fatty acid and triglycerol. They decreases plasma triglyceride levels more than the C levels, cholesterol levels. Fibrates lower blood triglyceride levels by reducing the liver's production of very low density lipids, the triglyceride carrying particle that circulates in the blood, by activation of lipoprotein lipase and speeding up the removal of triglycerides from the blood. Fibrates also are modestly effective in increasing blood HDL cholesterol. However, fibrates are not much effective in LDL cholesterol. Fibrates are anti-hyperlipidemic agents widely used in the treatment of different forms of hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolemia. So in that we will see clofebrate. Clofebrate is an ester of phenoxy isobutyric acid. It is regarded as broad spectrum lipid lowering drug. It is a prodrug which is metabolized to chlorophenoxy isobutyric acid, which is the active form of drug. So let's see its mechanism of action. Clofebrate increases the activity of extrahepatic lipoprotein lipase, thereby increases lipoprotein triglyceride lipolysis. Chylomicrons are degraded and VLDL, that is very low density lipoproteins, are converted to LDLs and LDLs are converted to HDL. This is accompanied by a slight increase in secretion of lipids into the bile and ultimately the intestine. Clofebrate also inhibits the synthesis and increases the clearance of apolyprotein B and carrier molecule for VLDL. So this agonism ultimately leads to modification in gene expression, resulting in increased beta oxidation, decreased triglyceride secretion, increased HDL and increased lipoprotein lipase activity. Let's see its uses. It is used as anti-cholesteremic agent or anti-lipemic agent. It is also used to treat xanthoma tubersome and type 3 hyperlipidemia that doesn't respond adequately to diet. Let's see its SAR. Isobutyric acid is essential for activity. Compounds containing an ester such as clofebrate, fenofibrate are prodrugs and they require in vivo hydrolysis. Substitution at para position of the aromatic ring with the chloro group or chloro containing isopropyl ring have longer half life. Phenoxy isobutyric acid results in active drug. So here is the synthesis of clofebric acid, that is clofebrate. Para-chlorophenol when reacts with acetone and chloroform, then it gives in presence of sodium chloride or acid reflux, then it will gives us clofebrate. Next class is nicotinic acid derivatives. In that, niacin, it is a water soluble vitamin of the B family. Once converted to the amide, it is incorporated in nicotinic acid. Mechanism of action: increases activity of lipase, which breaks down lipids, and they reduces the metabolism of cholesterol and triglycerides. Next class is LDL oxidation inhibitors. In that, probucol molecule has two tertiary butyl phenol groups linked by a dithiopropylidine bridge, giving a high lipophilic character with strong antioxidant properties. In humans, it causes reduction of both liver and serum cholesterol levels, but it does not alter plasma triglycerides. It reduces low density lipoproteins. It reduces to a lesser extent HDL levels by a unique mechanism that is still not clearly delineated. The reduction of HDL may cause by the ability of probucol to inhibit the synthesis of apoprotein A1, a major protein component of HDL. It is effective in reducing levels of LDL, and it is used in hyperlipoproteinemias characterized by elevated LDL level. In miscellaneous agent, beta-sitosterol, it is a plant sterol whose structure is identical with that of cholesterol except for the substituted ethyl group on the C24 of its side chain. So, thank you.